Yo, what's going on, people? It's your girl, Coach Brandi Nik. Listen, we are going to be starting a whole new journey for the next month or so, maybe a little bit more than that, because I want to make sure that we all have our basics down. A lot of times people will start into working out and they don't understand the basics, so we're going to go back to the basics. All right, so bear with me, because this is going to be a journey on you learning about your primal movement patterns and us doing workouts that are surrounded, that are based on these different movement patterns. Okay, this goes back into functional training. All right, so we've been doing a lot of strength training up until now. Now we're going to do functional training. What is functional training? What's the difference between that and strength training that we've been doing? Your functional training is really going to prepare you for doing movements in real life, right? So like, let's say you got, that daughter or whatever, and you're like, I want to chase that daughter around. I want to be able to like pick her up, or, or hold her out like this and swing her around, These are gonna be things that are gonna help you there. Or like, I gotta lift this heavy box, I need to lift it up. Or you're trying to get down and you're like, I gotta get down. Like, how do I get back up from here? There's a lot of people that have trouble with all of that. So all of these different movements are going to help you in your actual life as we age, as we gain weight, as we go through all of these different changes. So that's what this is about. All right. So in my demonstration, if you're following with me, what I'm going to be using is a pair of dumbbells, and I also have a medicine ball, a small one. This is 8 pounds. So you can also use this, or if you don't have that, you can just use your dumbbell. But right now, we're just going to go over what these 7 movement patterns are. Okay. So the first primary movement pattern is going to be a hip hinge movement, right? In other words, this is a bend to extend, right? So it's when you're bending down. Let's say you got to pick something up and you're bending down to pick this thing up. And then, you go on about your merry way. Oh, I've got my suitcase. I'm going to go on a vacation. I'm going to go pick my suitcase up. And then I'm going to like march my happy behind over to the airport so I can go on my vacation to, I don't know, Thailand or someplace, right? So in order to do that, the movement pattern that we use to mimic that is called a deadlift. But there's also other movement patterns. That's the one that we normally see a lot of times, is deadlifts, and that's the one that I'm going to demonstrate today. But there's other ones. There's good mornings, there's kettlebell swings, all of these things that really engage your hip in order to help you be able to do that kind of movement a little bit better. So for our deadlift, all right, I'm gonna take my weights on both sides. I'm gonna have my feet so that they are hip distance apart. Okay, so they're not like wide here, because who bends and picks anything up from here? So right here, bending down, and we're gonna get like our butt to press against the back wall. I'm always talking about that. Okay, and then you're just bending down from the hips. You're not curving the spine or anything like that. You're just hinging back, hinging that hip back. So really your hip is your friend here. You're gonna squeeze it in and bring it back. So if I'm going from the side, it's gonna look like this. So hips are coming back, they're coming back, they're coming back, they're coming back, they're coming back. I'm gonna get whatever it is that I'm picking up. I'm gonna squeeze my core so that I don't hurt anything, and then I'm gonna come back up. That is my hip hinge. Okay, so that's the first movement that we want to make sure that we're focusing on. Now, over the course of the next few weeks, I'm going to be taking one of these movements and focusing on it just for a single workout. Today, I'm going to go over all 7 of them, but starting Wednesday, because this is going to be a Monday, Wednesday, Friday program, starting on Wednesday, we're going to take this from the top, and we're just going to do all sorts of variations, focusing on one single functional movement pattern. Okay, the next thing that we've got are squats. Okay, squats are like when you're sitting down in a chair, right? You gotta like sit down, and then you gotta get up some kind of way. Right? What are you using in order to get you up? Right? Obviously, you're using your quads, you're using your hamstrings, you're using your glutes in order to make all of that work. So you have to have those muscles be nice and strong in order to be able to support you lifting your weight back up. So we start off with this. You can do box squats or sit to stands where you actually have something behind you, right? So you're just gonna pretend like you're having a seat, chest is up, you're coming down, and then you wanna bring it up, right? So if you can't have, if you don't have that kind of a flexibility, that range of motion, and to bring your butt behind or underneath your knees, then that's fine. You can just keep it right here, right? Okay, and that's gonna be your squat. You're sitting down to get back up, right? So if I have a chair underneath me, let's say I just grab my chair right here. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and have a nice seat. I'm gonna like recline, chill a little bit, I don't know, eat something, watch TV. And then from here, right, if I'm getting up here, now a lot of us, we do like this number, we rock from one side to the other side to get up like, getting up like grandmas, but that's not what we're doing today. Hands are not gonna be here either because we're not going to push ourselves off of here. We're just gonna get up and we're gonna be able to have the strength to do that. So from here, you can put your hands here if you're like really worried about cheating, all right? And come up. There's your sit to stand or your regress squat right there. All right, so we've covered 2 primal movement patterns. Now we're gonna go on to the third one, which is going to be our lunge. So our lunge, when would we ever use a lunge in real life? Okay, let's say you need to like move forward, you're reaching for something or you're pushing something. I've used this a lot if I'm like pushing something heavy, you're like your car stopped. Let's pray to God it doesn't happen, but like your car stopped and you gotta like push that car. Well, guess what, my friend? You're lunging forward, okay? That's just one real world example. And that's the point. Every single one of these has a real world application, which is why it's important in functional training, which is our focus for right now, okay? So you're gonna lunge. When you're lunging, you're actually moving into a sort of neutral position, into a position where you are putting one leg forward, one leg is bent. It's bent at about a 90-degree angle. Your back leg is straight, but the heel is off of the ground and you're bringing it forward. Now, just because I'm lunging forward doesn't mean that my torso is like here, because that's not it, right? We're gonna keep our torso down. When we come down into like our bent position, right? We're here, we're both at 90-degree angle. Here's another example, right, of this sort of position in real life. You're down on the ground. You're down on the ground, you're chilling, or for whatever reason you're here, right? How do I get up from here, okay? Let's say maybe you're pregnant, maybe you're just having a hard time getting up, right? Okay, first thing, we get ourselves taking one leg, bringing it underneath you. We get ourselves in this position. Looks familiar, doesn't it? Looks like the bottom half of our lunge, right? All right, we're coming from here. We go straight up. Okay, that's another example. So that's our lunge, okay? In order to safely do it, when we do it in exercise, right, you can either do a front lunge, or we can go, bring it back, puts a little less pressure on the knees for those of you with knee issues. We can go into a reverse lunge, okay? When we do our circuit today, because we will go through a small circuit after we go through the demonstrations, we'll do a reverse lunge. Okay, so we've covered 3. Now we're halfway through. We've got 3 more movement patterns to cover. Rotation. How important is it to rotate for your core strength and your core stability? All right, so when we rotate, anytime we turn around, anytime we do like this kind of a movement, this is a rotation, right? And it's called the transverse plane. So when we're here in this transverse plane, right, we turn around, we do this, we're walking in one direction, we turn around, we walk in the other direction, right? We're actually rotating our bodies into another plane of motion, okay? Transverse plane. So And we do that all the time. We switch directions all the time. Like, we need to be able to have the core stability in order to do that. We don't necessarily think about having to do specific exercises for that because we take it for granted a lot of times. But trust me and believe, there's lots of people who have a hard time, you know, just turning in one direction or looking over their shoulder, right? And immediately when you do that, you feel your core come into play, right? If you feel it, please comment, right? Say, yes, I feel it. All right, so what we're gonna do today to demonstrate that is our medicine ball chop. Or you can also do this with a dumbbell if you have a dumbbell. But either way, you're gonna take a weight in your hand, okay? And we're gonna start from one end and we're just going to twist to another end. Now this is also, right, any kind of chop, like it's mimicking this idea of like chopping down wood, you know, or something like that, or building a shelter. I don't know what you guys are into, but so many different applications for a rotational movement, right, as our primary movement. Remember, these are all movements that we do naturally. These are not like, this is not like a formula for rapid weight loss or anything like that. These are movements that we do. We want to continue to be able to do them as we get older, as we age, right? As we start to be on our health journey and we're making choices. We want to be able to do these. We want to do them effectively. And it works in our favor that a lot of these are the basic foundational exercises for a lot of the more complicated ones that you see that are used for weight loss and are used for strength training and all of that stuff. So knowing how to do them right and understanding the connection to your real world is paramount, right? Okay, now we've got everybody's favorite push. And I actually, with the push, I also talk about press, right? Some people, they can take them apart and say that the push and the press are different. But a push and a press, the thing they have in common is that you're moving weight away from your body, right? You're pushing it away from your body, right? So I'm gonna take my dumbbells out for this demonstration, okay? So let's do the press first, okay? So I'm here, just gonna do a simple press. I have weights here, and actually I'll turn them out here for military press. So we're here. I'm just gonna take this weight and push it away from my body. That's a press. Pushing it away, but I'm pushing it away vertically, right? So I'm pressing it up. And for this, you know, I'm tackling my shoulders. My shoulders are getting the brunt of that. Or I can come down and push my own weight, you know, my weight away from gravity, right? Where I'm like resisting gravity in a push-up. So if I start, let's say I start from the bottom here, okay? I start from the bottom, let's say I'm doing a hand release push-up. So I'm starting from the bottom and I'm gonna take my weight and I'm gonna push it away from the ground, right? Pushing the weight away from the ground. That's a push. When would I do that? Well, I think I do a push-up like when I get out of bed, push myself up. Even if I'm just like pushing my weight here, like this, right? Where I'm like kind of on the knees here, and then plop myself over here. Right? Can you see the connection there? And it's not a far stretch. I'm not just like making these things up. You'll notice that in your day-to-day life that you are using these things. Hey, Libby. Hi, Libby. Oh my goodness. Okay, I didn't realize I got Libby here joining us. Cool. So we're going over primal movement patterns, right? So we're just finishing up on the push and the press. And now we're gonna go into the pull. When you use a pull, for pull, you're taking weight, you're putting it in to your body. So you're bringing that weight closer to you. This would be, I'm gonna pull somebody in for a hug. I'm gonna pull a baby in so I can cradle them, right? I'm going to grab something and pull it closer to me because I need to lift it and carry it onto, I don't know, into my car or something, okay? So all of those things are gonna be for the pull, okay? So for the pull, what I'm going to do is demonstrate a bent over row. I'm gonna go down here. Okay, now for this, my hips are going back a little bit and I am bent over, okay, almost kind of like a table position. And I'm gonna pull this weight towards my body. Just pulling this weight towards my body, right? That's all I'm doing. And this is one example of a pull motion, right? When would I ever be in this position? Well, again, many different applications of it, but if you're trying to fix something, sometimes you might find yourself down, pulling something towards you. If you're trying to, you know, grab something, a rope or something, you can find yourself in this position. But there are real world applications for the pulling motion. You're pulling something towards you, okay? And then last but not least, there's something called our gait. So our gait is going to be our walking. One of the most, and you guys know I'm an advocate for walking, right? Because you have legs, we are made to be ambulatory, we're made to be walking and moving. If you do not use it, you are going to lose it. So walking is one of those things that we really take for granted, but it also is not just about the walking, it's also about the jogging, right? How are you when you jog? How are you when you sprint? All of those things come into play, and this is your gait position. So over the next, like I said, 7 different workouts, we're going to be going through all of these primal movement patterns, and we will likely do it, you know, even 2 times, kind of depends on how I feel, but we're gonna go through these movement patterns quite a bit over the next month, okay? So that we really get it into our bodies and to our minds, this connection between the exercise that we're doing and how they are based on and how they connect to the real world. So that being said, I've got an 8 exercise workout based off of what I just showed you. So let's go through that really simply. We're only gonna do 10 repetitions of each. Okay, we're gonna take our time with it. This is a beginner series. Okay? So if you're looking for something that's a little bit more intense, check out my other videos, okay? This primary movement training is either a really good refresher for those of you who already, you know this stuff, or it's a really good beginning place for those of you who have no idea what you're doing, okay? So let's get started. We're gonna go ahead and take our 10-pound weights, and we're just gonna do our deadlifts, okay? So we're gonna hit 10 of those deadlifts, bring it down and up. You can have a slight bend in the knees, okay? Now you're gonna feel this in your hamstring, that's okay. But you also should be squeezing your glutes as you come up. And I want you to really think about pressing those hips back as you go back. So we're just focusing on the pattern. We're not, we're not trying to go fast. We're trying to do this right, okay? You have to always know what it is that you're training for. If you're training, for fat loss, for performance, for hypertrophy, for whatever it is that you're training for, you have to know what your goals are, okay? And work accordingly. And if you don't know how to get to those goals, then that's why you have somebody like me there. Okay, so that's 10. We're gonna go right in from there into a squat. Now you can hold on to your weights if you want to. I'm gonna hold on to my weights and just put my weights right here. I'm gonna go down for 10, taking my feet and widening them a little bit from that deadlift position, because remember before when I was doing my hip hinges, my feet were closer in because they were right underneath my hips. Now they're underneath my shoulders. So going down for my deep squats. All right, just doing 10. Nice and easy, functional movements, working on our primary movement patterns. Good, put that down. We're gonna go for our lunge. Remember I said we're doing reverse lunges. We'll switch every single time. So just going back into the reverse lunge, keeping the chest nice and tall. Bring it down. Good. There we go. And for some of you, it's gonna be difficult even to do this, and that's fine. You don't need the weights. If you need to balance yourself on something, just go ahead and take something to the side. And you can hold on to that if you want as you go down. The more that you become strong in this, the easier it's gonna be able to happen for you that you can do this without any assistance, okay? We're gonna go ahead and work on that rotation. Very good job, folks. Very good job. Let's take on this. We're gonna do 5 rotations to each side. Starting up high and bring it down low. That's right. Slow and steady. All right. Great job. Great job. This is where we start. Just understanding how our body works. Go 5 on the other side. Understanding what that connection is, right? This is effective. This is enough. You want to make it harder? Get a heavier weight. Same movement pattern. Okay. Give me one more. Great work. All right, let's go to our push. We're gonna do push-ups, so we'll do 10 push-ups. You can do it on your knee, or you can do it regular. I'm gonna do mine regular. We'll come back up for a shoulder press. So 10 and 10 for our push movements, okay? So let's go for a push-up. We're going down and up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 more, and 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and 1. Good, come up, grab your dumbbells. Hitting the shoulder press, elbows open, and we're just going up and down. That's it. So many of our natural movements are upper body, right? Couple more. 2, last one. There you go. But if you realize you need your core for a lot of these, and actually I was gonna put these up, but we still need them. We're gonna hit our bent over row. So let's bend it over and get our row going. Right here, palms facing in. We're gonna rotate the palms so they face in towards our body and then directly in front of our body. 2, 3, 4, 5. I want you to squeeze your shoulder blades together at the top. 3 more. 3, 2, last one. 1, nice and controlled. And then last but not least, we're just gonna jog in place, and we'll jog in place for a full minute. And then guess what? We'll repeat that one more time. So listen, as I have you guys jogging in place, I want you to really think about the fact that you have to be able to do all of these primal movement, or these, primal movement patterns. You have to be able to do them in order to really garner the most out of your body. If you're suffering in one of these movement patterns, you want to think about how you're going to fix that, right? So I would really recommend that you guys just stick with me on this program, all right? This IG Live program, okay? And, I just rock with me on it, because at the end of the day, you're going to be stronger and better for it. We got 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, And one time. All right, if you need to get some water, get some water. We're gonna start all the way from the top with our hip hinge movement. Whew. All right, good. Got a little sweat going. Got a little sweat going. All right, let's get back. Get those dumbbells back. Gonna go back to that hip hinge movement. And remember, we're only going for 10. And hips directly in line with those feet. All right, we're running one stack right over the other. And bring it down. 1. Make sure you're breathing. 2. 3, good. 4, come on. We got 5 more. Nice and easy. There we go. 2 more. And last one right here. Excellent. Going right for those squats. Remember, if you don't want to have the weights, you don't need the weights. It's all good. That's all up to you. If you are not ready to do a squat, absent of like a chair, something like that, go ahead and grab your chair, right? Do a sit to stand. If you got a box, do a box squat. 3 more. Yes, yes, yes. Come on. Last one. All right. Going right for those lunges. We're gonna go for our reverse lunge. And let's get ready to rock and roll, doing 5 on each side, alternating every single time. And bring it down. If you're still with the weights on this one, the weights are by your side. Catch your breath. Nice, steady movements. Give me 5 more. Come on. You can do this. 2 more. Last one on the side. Excellent, excellent. For those of you who have a medicine ball, we're gonna go ahead and put these down and switch it on out. All right, we're going for 5 on each side. Really rotating, focusing on that rotation. Squeezing your core. Let's go to the other side. Push it up. 5, 4, 3, 2 more. 2, last one, and 1. Excellent. No weight. We're getting down on the ground. We're hitting those push-ups. If you want to do your push-ups, like I said, on your knees, no shame in that. Matter of fact, I'll join you. Let's go down. Gonna hit our push-ups. Ready? And let's go. Try to stay with me if you can, since we're going on the knees. The chest just barely taps. Okay, the floor on this one is not like the first type that I was doing with the hand release push-up, where you're really bringing the full weight of your body to the ground and pushing that all the way up. When we get to our push exercises, I might throw a couple of those in there, but we're not worried about that right now. Right now, let's go grab those weights and we'll hit our shoulder presses. Bring them up. All right, we're just going for 10. Let's lift them up, straight above our heads. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. 1. Excellent work. Excellent work. All right, we're coming down for our bent over row. We've only got this last one, and then we're doing our jog, run, sprint, whatever you got for 1 minute. All right, but right now let's get into this pull. Bend it over for the bent over rows. Bringing that weight to the body. Yep. Trying to bring it closer. Closer to me. Give me all of that dumbbell weight. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. 1. Good, good, good work. All right, right here, we're just gonna hit 1 minute jogging in place. Just imagine that you're like, I don't know, running outside in nice weather, somewhere beautiful. I do a lot of imagining when I'm exercising, like, oh, I'm somewhere in Bali or wherever, you know, I am. South Africa, somewhere beautiful, on the beach, in the winery, right? 30 more seconds. All right. Woo. Come on, y'all. We got this. Working on our last primal movement pattern, that gait pattern. We've got 10 more seconds. Excellent work, folks. 3, 2, 1, and time. Give yourselves a round of applause. You guys have killed it. That has been our introduction to the 7 primal movement patterns. All right, like I said, we're gonna be going through each of these patterns over the next month or so, doing workouts that are engaging these specific patterns, okay? So it's gonna be a lot of fun, maybe a little bit of different training for you than you're used to with me. But we're gonna have a good time, and we're gonna understand our body a little bit more fully and more clearly. Thank you guys so much for rocking out with me, your girl, Coach Brandi Nik. I always say, DM me, contact me for anything at all, any questions that you have, whether it be related to what we did today, what we did a few weeks ago, nutrition, supplements, anything. Inspiration, training, coaching, whatever you got a question about, feel free to contact me and I got your back. All right, folks, I will see you next time. Next time we're doing this is gonna be on Wednesday, all right? And deuces, we're going over the hip hinge pattern on Wednesday. Bye, guys.